coordinate systems you should learn. So in the last class, you have studied the vector part. It is continued here. This is needed because in order to explain the remaining concept of the electric field intensity, we should understand this vector concept here. First and foremost here is, what are the three different types of coordinates we are using: Cartesian, cylindrical, and spherical. In all these three coordinates, what are the unit vectors you should know, and how you're defining the length, area, and volume expressions you should know in all the three. First and foremost is you should know how to represent the point P in Cartesian form. So the point P in Cartesian is denoted as what? P of x, y, and z. So how do we mark here? X is nothing but distance measured on positive x-axis, y is distance measured on positive y, and z is the distance measured on z-axis. Yesterday I told you how to mark the point P. So after representing this point P in 3D form, we have to define a differential volume, or a, or a cube is defined by considering the axis x, y, and z in Cartesian coordinates. For example, if you draw a cube, all the sides, whatever it is having, it is parallel to any one of the axes. For example, the slant side is parallel to x-axis. You can take that as dx, and the horizontal is parallel to y, that is taken as dy, and vertical is parallel to z-axis. You can take it as dz. So you can consider a cube having the sides dx, dy, and dz. So in Cartesian, I'm explaining here. So what are the sides in Cartesian we are assuming for this cube? Dx, dy, and dz. What will be the unit vectors? It is ax, ay, and az are the unit vectors. Once you know the sides of this differential volume and the corresponding unit vector, we can define three terms in Cartesian coordinate system. First one is differential length. Differential length is denoted by dl. What is this meaning of differential is? It is a very small length, so we use dl. L means it is total length. dl is for differential, which is a small length. In Cartesian, how do you define? It is the side multiplied with the corresponding unit vector. So dl is given by dx ax plus dy ay plus dz az. So once you define the differential volume sides and the corresponding unit vectors, just multiply the sides with the unit vectors and add it to differential length. Differential length in Cartesian form is dx ax plus dy ay plus dz az. Second one is differential area. So if you consider the cube here, so cube will have 6 faces, 6 areas will be there. The 3 are directly visible and the other 3 will be in the opposite direction. For example, if you take front face, top face, and top face and right face is visible here, whereas the bottom and the back face and the left face will be in the negative directions. So the differential volume has 3 areas. The front face is one, right, and the top face. So we should be able to write the areas for each one of them. We have 3 directions, means it is having 3 areas, that is x, y, and z direction. So how do we write the area along x direction? It is the product of remaining 2 sides multiplied by the same unit vector. If you want area along x direction, which sides you have to take? Dy dz into the corresponding unit vector is ax. Same thing if you take y, the other 2 sides is what? Dx dz into ay, and last one is dsz, that is dx dy into az. So from this sides and unit vectors, you should be able to know how to write the differential surface area. If you want area along x direction, the remaining 2 sides you just multiply dy and dz into ax will give you the area along x direction, and along the y direction, if you want, it is dx dz into ay, and along the z direction it is dx dy into az. So like this, for this differential volume, whatever I have defined for the cube, three areas can be defined: front face, the top face, as well as the right face. And coming to the last term, that is differential volume. Differential volume is nothing but a product of length, breadth, and height. So all the three sides, whatever you are defined, if you multiply all the three, you will get the differential volume, that is dvs, dx, dy, and dz. So like this, for the Cartesian coordinates, once you define the sides and the unit vector, you can be able to arrive at differential length, differential areas, and differential volume. Same thing is applied for cylindrical as well as spherical. You can apply it. In cylindrical, all of you should know the point P is represented as what? Rho phi z. Rho phi z is the cylindrical coordinate points. How do we mark this on the coordinate axis xyz? First one, if you take rho from the origin, if you draw, see I'm showing the figure here. From the origin, if you draw a radial line, that is denoted as rho. Angle between this radial line and x-axis is denoted as phi. And z is nothing but distance measured on z-axis, so that is z. So rho, phi, and z you have to mark. And from this radial line, if you draw a vertical and a perpendicular line, that will give you the point P, which is rho, phi, z. So rho, phi, z, all of you should know how to mark it on x, y, z axis. How do you indicate rho? From origin line and x-axis angle is denoted as phi. Z is the distance measured parallel to z. And from this rho line, you draw parallel to z-axis and a perpendicular from z will give you the point P. But all of you should know on the z-axis, how do you find this point P1? See, if it is Cartesian coordinates, how do you write? It is 0, 0, z is the point on z-axis. But in cylindrical coordinates, on z-axis, the point P1 will be different. Since it is making an angle phi at the origin, so the point P1 on z-axis will be 0, phi, z. All of you should know this. And what is this rho? How it is related to cylindrical coordinate is rho is nothing but radius of the cylinder. Phi is nothing but constant angle of the plane. And z is nothing but it is a distance measured parallel to z-axis. So rho phi z is related to cylindrical coordinates, and you should know how to mark it on x, y, and z axis. Rho is the radius of cylinder, phi is the constant angle of the plane that is shown in this figure. Now here also you need to define what is differential length, differential volume, and differential area. So here also you have to define a differential volume having three sides. So what are the three sides in cylindrical? How do we get this differential volume? So what you should do here is, if you project all these solid figures, that is cylinder, plane, and all on the coordinate axis, and if you construct a cube, the cube will be resulting like this, which is shown here, having the sides, that is y-axis parallel side will have rho d phi, and this slant line will have d rho, and the vertical line will have dz. This you can understand only when you project it. This is a cylinder, plane, and everything. If you project and if you construct a cube, then only you will get this idea. You'll be able to identify. So you can try it. So what are the sides in cylindrical coordinate? Everybody should know d rho, rho d phi, and dz. The unit vectors, you know, it is a rho, a phi, and az. Once you know the sides of the differential volume as well as the unit vectors, you can write length, area, and volume. I told you how to write. The same thing you can apply for this also. So how do you write length? All of you, dl into a rho plus rho d phi into a phi plus dz into az. The sides multiplied by the unit vectors will give you the differential length. How do you find area? If I want the area along rho direction, I need to multiply the remaining two sides. What are those? Rho d phi dz, and the unit vector should remain the same, that is a rho. If you want area along phi direction, d rho dz sides you have to multiply into a phi, and z direction is d rho d phi into az. So like this, you can define differential surface area in cylindrical coordinates along rho, phi and z direction. And last term is the differential volume. It is length, breadth into height. All the three sides product, if you multiply, you'll get the differential volume. So all these three formulas everybody should learn in cylindrical coordinate systems. So you don't need to remember this. You need to remember the sides and unit vectors. And once you know those two, you can write all these formula by seeing those two terms. The last one in the coordinate system is spherical coordinate system. Spherical coordinate system is denoted as r theta phi. So how do we mark this on x, y and z axis? First is r. From origin above, if you draw radial line above, not below. Above, if you draw, that distance is taken as r. And angle between this radial line r and z axis is taken as theta. And angle between below radial line and x axis is always what? Phi. So if you draw all these three, and if you draw a parallel line from the below, you will get the point P, which is r theta phi. So r is what? It is the radial distance measured from the origin above, as shown in the figure here, that is r. Theta is angle between the above radial line with z axis, and phi is angle between below radial line and x axis is taken as phi. So like this, in the spherical coordinate system, we can write the point P, which is r theta phi. How these terms are related to spherical? Actually, r is the radius of the sphere. So hence we use r here. So if the radius of the sphere is called r. What is this theta? If you consider a cone at its vertex at the origin, the half angle of the cone at the origin is called theta. So theta is nothing but semi-vertex angle of the cone. And what is this phi? It is similar to cylindrical, that is constant angle of the plane. So like this, all these three solid figures are used to represent the spherical coordinate system. R is radius of the sphere, theta is what? Semi-vertex angle of the cone, and phi is the angle of the plane. And here, if you want to construct the differential volume, once again, what you should do, all these three solid figures are projected on the coordinate axis, and if you frame a differential volume, you'll get like this. So that is shown in the figure here. So what will be the sides in this case? First side is dr, second one will be rd theta, and the third side will be r sine theta into d phi. So the differential volume that is constructed by projecting all the three figures on the coordinate axis, if you do and construct, you'll have these three sides here. First side is dr, second one is what? Rd theta, third one is r sine theta into d phi. And what will be the corresponding unit vectors? You know, it is ar, a theta and a phi. Once again, if you define the sides and unit vector, what you can define here? Length, area and volume. Differential length, once again, I'll repeat how to write. It is the side into corresponding unit vector. dr ar plus rd theta into a theta plus r sine theta d phi into a phi. Second is differential area. You have three directions here, r, theta and phi. If I want r direction, what I told you, leave leave the same side, multiply remaining two. That is r into r, it will become r square sine theta d phi into ar. Same thing you can write for theta direction as well as phi direction. Understood? And last one is differential volume, which is the product of length, breadth into height. all the three sides, if you multiply, you'll get the differential volume. So like this, you can define all the three terms in spherical coordinate system. So this is the vector concept. That is second part of the vector concept. Yesterday I told you some part. This is the other part of the vector concept. So what we have revised in this, all of you should know, and will have more multiple choices in this because all the formulas can be asked. And first thing is, first and foremost, what you should know here, there are three coordinate system: Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical. The representation of the point P, that is x, y, z in Cartesian. And how do we mark it on x, y and z axis? All of you should know. And if you consider a differential volume, what will be the sides in Cartesian coordinates? Everybody should know. What are those? Dx, dy, dz. And unit vectors you should know. Once you know these two, you can write length, area and volume. Second one is what? Cylindrical coordinate system. Cylindrical coordinate system, the point P is denoted as rho phi z. So you should know how to mark it on the coordinate axis, the point P. Rho is what? Radial line, length of the radial line, phi and all you should know, then you should be able to mark. Rho is related to what actually? Radius of the cylinder, phi is the constant angle of the plane, z is the distance it is. So if you project all these solid figures and construct a cube, what will be the sides? D rho, rho d phi and dz. Unit vectors you should know, then you can write this. The last one is spherical coordinate system. What are the variables here? R, theta, phi. R is radial distance, theta is angle between radial and z, phi is angle between radial and x-axis. Actually, if you come for solid figures, what is R? What is R? R is the radius of the sphere. Theta is semi-vertex angle of the cone. Phi is the constant angle of the plane. If you project all these three figures and construct a cube, what will be the sides of the cube in spherical coordinates? In the spherical coordinates, it is dr, rd theta, r sine theta into d phi. And the unit vectors will be ar, a theta and a phi. Then you can write all these three terms. So for this MCQ or objective types, any formulas can be asked in this part.